The KV-85 earns its spot for several key reasons. Firstly, its transitional design was a significant improvement. By combining the robust KV-1S hull with the powerful 85mm gun, the KV-85 was a formidable opponent on the battlefield. This upgrade gave Soviet forces a much-needed edge against German armor, especially as the war intensified and German tanks became more heavily armored. In combat, the KV-85 proved its effectiveness. It could penetrate German armor with its 85mm gun, making it a valuable asset during engagements. However, the KV-85 doesn't rank higher on our list for several reasons. Firstly, its production run was short. The KV-85 was quickly replaced by the more advanced IS series, which offered superior performance and firepower. Secondly, the KV-85's overall impact was limited. While it filled a critical gap, it wasn't as influential as other heavy tanks of the era. Its role in the war was brief compared to tanks that saw longer service and had greater strategic influence. In summary, the KV-85 was a crucial step in Soviet tank development, bridging the gap between the KV and IS series. Its transitional design and combat effectiveness earn it a spot in our top 7, but its short production run and limited impact keep it at number 7. The M26 Pershing earns its position for several key reasons. Firstly, its firepower. The 90mm M3 gun was a significant advantage, capable of taking on the formidable German heavy tanks. In terms of armor, the M26 Pershing was comparable to contemporary German tanks, providing a solid defense against enemy fire. However, despite these strengths, the M26 Pershing doesn't rank higher on our list for a couple of reasons. Firstly, its late introduction. The M26 Pershing was deployed in the final months of the war, limiting its overall impact on the conflict. Secondly, the numbers. Relatively few M26 Pershings saw combat during World War II, which restricted its influence compared to other tanks on this list. In conclusion, while the M26 Pershing was a powerful and well-armored tank, its late arrival and limited deployment keep it at the 6th spot in our ranking of World War II heavy tanks. The Tiger II, also known as the King Tiger, earns its position for several impressive reasons. First and foremost, its firepower. The 88mm KWK-43L/71 gun was one of the most powerful tank guns of the war, capable of penetrating the armor of any Allied tank at long range. In addition to its devastating firepower, the Tiger II boasted superior armor protection. Its thick frontal armor made it nearly impervious to frontal attacks, providing unmatched battlefield resilience. However, despite these strengths, the Tiger II doesn't rank higher on our list for a couple of significant reasons. Firstly, its mechanical issues. The Tiger II was prone to frequent breakdowns and was notoriously difficult to maintain, which often left it stranded and vulnerable. Secondly, the production numbers. Only 492 units of the Tiger II were produced during the war, limiting its overall impact compared to other heavy tanks with higher production rates. In conclusion, while the Tiger II was a powerhouse of firepower and armor, its mechanical unreliability and limited production keep it at the 5th spot in our ranking of World War II heavy tanks. The KV-1 earns its position on our list for several compelling reasons. Firstly, its early war dominance. In the initial stages of the war, the KV-1's thick armor made it nearly invincible against the German forces, who struggled to penetrate its defenses. Secondly, the KV-1's durability played a crucial role in delaying German advances during critical moments of the war. Its resilience and ability to withstand heavy fire were key to the Soviet defense. However, despite these strengths, the KV-1 does not rank higher on our list for several significant reasons. Firstly, obsolescence. As the war progressed, German anti-tank capabilities improved, making the KV-1's thick armor less effective and rendering the tank increasingly vulnerable. Secondly, mobility. The KV-1 was heavy and slow, which limited its tactical flexibility on the battlefield. Its lack of speed often made it difficult to maneuver and adapt to fast-changing combat situations. In conclusion, while the KV-1 was a formidable force in the early years of World War II, its later obsolescence and mobility issues keep it at the fourth spot in our ranking of World War II heavy tanks. The Churchill tank earns its place on this list for several significant reasons. Firstly, its armor. The Churchill was one of the heaviest armored Allied tanks, boasting up to 152 millimeters of armor, which made it incredibly resilient in battle. Secondly, its versatility. The Churchill was known for its various specialized variants, each designed for different battlefield roles, from the AVRE with its demolition gun to the Crocodile flamethrower tank. Lastly, reliability. The Churchill tank was successfully deployed in numerous theaters of war, proving its dependability and durability under various combat conditions. However, despite these strengths, the Churchill tank does not rank higher on our list for a couple of critical reasons. Firstly, firepower. The Churchill's standard armament, initially a 6-pounder gun and later upgraded to a 75mm gun, was less powerful compared to the main guns of other contemporary heavy tanks. Secondly, speed. The Churchill was notoriously slow with limited mobility. Its heavy armor and weight significantly restricted its speed and maneuverability on the battlefield. In conclusion, while the Churchill tank was a formidable and versatile asset for the Allies, its relatively weaker firepower and slow speed prevented it from ranking higher on our list of World War II heavy tanks. The IS-2 tank claims its high ranking for several compelling reasons. First and foremost, its firepower. Armed with the powerful 122mm D-25T gun, the IS-2 could destroy German heavy tanks, including the fearsome Tiger and Panther. Secondly, its armor. The IS-2 featured thick frontal armor, up to 120mm, providing excellent protection against enemy fire, making it a tough adversary on the battlefield. And thirdly, its crucial role in the war. The IS-2 played a significant part in the final offensives on the Eastern Front, contributing to the Soviet advance into Germany and the eventual victory over the Axis powers. Despite its strengths, the IS-2 doesn't take the top spot on our list for a few reasons. Firstly, reload time. The powerful 122mm gun, while devastating, had a slower rate of fire compared to other tank guns of the era. This slower reload time could be a disadvantage in fast-paced combat situations. Secondly, mobility. The IS-2, while effective in battle, was less mobile compared to some of its contemporaries. Its heavy armor and large gun made it slower and less agile on the battlefield. In summary, the IS-2's incredible firepower, thick armor, and pivotal role in the war secure its position as the second-best heavy tank of World War II. However, its slower rate of fire and reduced mobility keep it from taking the top spot. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the top of our list. At number 1, the legendary Tiger I heavy tank. The Tiger I rightfully claims its position for several compelling reasons. First and foremost, its firepower. Armed with the fearsome 88mm KWK-36 gun, the Tiger I could obliterate any Allied tank at long ranges, instilling fear in its adversaries. Secondly, its armor. The Tiger I boasted thick armor plating, up to 100mm in places, making it nearly impervious to most Allied anti-tank weapons. Allied soldiers often found themselves helpless against its formidable defenses. And thirdly, its psychological impact. The mere sight of a Tiger I on the battlefield struck fear into the hearts of Allied troops. Its reputation for invincibility earned it the nickname Tiger, symbolizing power and dominance. However, the Tiger I isn't without its drawbacks, which prevent it from claiming an even higher spot on our list. Firstly, mechanical reliability. The Tiger I was notorious for its mechanical issues, often breaking down on the battlefield and requiring extensive maintenance. This reduced its effectiveness in prolonged engagements. Secondly, production numbers. While fearsome, only 1,347 Tiger I tanks were produced during the war. This limited production severely restricted their overall impact on the outcome of the conflict. In conclusion, the Tiger I's unmatched firepower, thick armor, and psychological impact secure its place as the #1 heavy tank of World War II. However, its mechanical issues and limited production numbers prevent it from claiming an even higher spot on our list.